In this video, we're going to show you how to install the headlights on your Honda Ridgeline located on the front side of your vehicle. Starting under the hood, we're going to use our trim tool, and we want to remove all the plastic push pins that are covering or holding this front cover in place. I'm going to pop out the center. Sometimes these can be fragile and crack, so you may have to source some. And just repeat this process right across the entire front panel. Lift up on this cover and remove that, set it aside. Now from underneath the bottom side of the bumper here, we have some plastic buttons. If you have these plastic buttons, use your trim tool to go ahead and remove these. On our particular vehicle, we have a 10mm bolt right here. Not sure if it's actually supposed to be a bolt. On the passenger side, we actually have two plastic pins on ours, or buttons. Whatever you have for hardware, you simply want to remove it. Now inside the front portion of the wheel well, there is a 10mm bolt right underneath this lip here. Going to loosen and remove that, and repeat for the passenger side. Now on the driver's side here, we remove that bolt. There should be a plastic retainer here that secures the bumper to the fender itself. So I'm going to run my fingers up right inside here, and I'm going to gently pull outward, like so. And I'm going to continue to do this, working my way around the front. And what we're doing is basically just releasing the retainers that secure the bumper to the front of the vehicle. Continue your way around the other side and go ahead and pull that bumper off, set it aside. On the bottom portion of our headlight towards the outer corner here, right inside here, you're going to locate a 10mm bolt. I'm going to use a gear wrench for clearance purposes. Now on the inboard portion of our lamp here, we have a bracket. There's a 10mm bolt right here that goes up through the bracket to secure the headlamp assembly. However, you can't get a tool to it, so there are two 10mm bolts that are horizontally positioned. On the top of the lamp assembly, we have a 10mm bolt right here. Loosen and remove that. Now this is going to allow us to pivot this out gently. You don't want to pull too far. You do not want to crack this bracket right here, but it's going to give us some room to get underneath the inboard portion here and remove our lower 10mm bolt. So let's go ahead and do that next. Go ahead and grab that lamp assembly. We're going to wiggle this out. And as you pivot this out, there's going to be some sockets or bulbs on the back we need to disconnect. Now on the outer marker lamp, you're going to grab that, twist it counterclockwise, pop the socket and the bulb out. On the back side of the headlamp assembly is a simple 3-prong plug. You're going to gently grab that and wiggle that. You can remove the lamp assembly from the vehicle. On the back side of our original headlamp, I'm going to go ahead and remove the rubber boot. And there's a little spring tab here holding our bulb in place. So normally what you want to do is press in on that. You press it and release it, and it'll swing out. It's just a little spring tension. You can grab that headlight bulb and pull that out like so. Now you want to take note that the way the bulb came out, the prong on the top and then 2 side prongs. So go ahead and set that aside. Grab our new headlamp assembly. Remove the rubber boot. Do the same thing here. Grab that little spring clip. Swing that out. Place your bulb in. Fold this down. Press your little spring clip in. Little tab locks into place. Give that little bulb a wiggle and it's secured. Grab the rubber boot. Make sure that the prongs line up and come out through the rubber boot. Right here is where your parking light goes, or your marker light. So I can go ahead and pop this out. Go ahead and grab your headlamp bulb connector, line that up. Go ahead and push it into place. You're going to take your parking light bulb, line that up, and then once those tabs line up, push that in and twist it clockwise until it stops. That'll lock that bulb in place. Now we can go ahead and line up our lamp assembly and start to feed that back into the body. When reassembling, the first bolt you need to put in is the one that goes up into the headlamp bracket. This does have a little bit of adjustability here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run that in as far as I can with my hand, leave it, it's going to be snug, but I'm not going to tighten it. We're going to do a final tightening afterwards. Let's install the 2 side bolts through this bracket. Before we tighten these down, let's install the upper bolt. Now on this side here, there's a plastic tab that the bolt needs to go through, and it has an alignment pin on it that goes into the metal bracket. So you can manipulate that a little bit. Sometimes you can use a flathead screwdriver just to try and pivot that around, line that up, get your bolt, and go ahead and get that started. Now at this point here, what we can do is we can go ahead and start snugging things down. I'm going to start with our bracket over here. I'm going to snug that down. We'll tighten down the 2 bolts in the bracket. Bolt right in here. Okay, let's snug up the bolt on the top. Now when installing your headlamps, you want to make sure that the gap around the fender and the headlamp are nice and smooth and clean. Everything looks perfect here. You're going to go ahead and repeat this process for the passenger side. Once you're done there, we're going to go ahead and install the bumper. Now I want to go ahead and hang our bumper. So be careful with the bumper's edge there. Basically what we want to do is hang the top of the center of the bumper just above on the grill area. Now we want to start lining up our edges here with the tabs underneath the lights. Going to line this up inside of our fender. As you start to line this up and it lines up underneath the fender, you can normally give it a little bump. You see it lines up everything up. And repeat this process for the passenger side. Go ahead and install your bumper bolt here. And just snug that down. Repeat for the passenger side. Install your plastic push pins. I'm going to repeat this for the other side. Install your plastic pins or bolts, whatever you have. Install your cover. Now that you have your cover in place, simply install all of your plastic retaining buttons. At that point there, you can go ahead and close your hood and you're all set.
Now we're going to get the vehicle ready to aim the headlights. Start with the tire pressure, making sure all 4 tires are set at the appropriate pressure. Remove any excessive weight that's not normally in the vehicle. Find a wall that you can drive up to where the ground is level. Measure 25 feet away from that wall and mark the ground. Drive your vehicle up to that mark. With the headlights off, look for the center dot in the headlight lens. Measure from the ground to that center dot. You can use a ruler to help you out. Transferring that measurement to the wall, making a mark with some tape. On the driver's side, measure down 4 inches, putting another piece of tape. For the passenger side, you only need to measure down 2 inches. Now turning the headlights on, it is easier to do this at night or in a dark area. Locating your headlight adjuster and using a Phillips head screwdriver, turn your adjuster one way or another to bring the headlight up or down. Once the headlight is adjusted to the tape mark on the wall, move on to the next headlight. If you're confused because the beams seem to blend together, you can always have someone stand in front of the other headlight while you make your adjustments for that one. Now your headlights are aligned and you're all set to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.